Hey, so I'm here with Sam Ramji from Apigee, and you guys have had an exciting announcement today. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, we announced the availability of our Apigee API delivery network. So that's basically a global delivery solution for APIs so that you can get scale, reliability, and local translation delivered right at the edge of the cloud, as opposed to stuffing all of that load and processing on your core systems. So it's pretty good.
So one of the problems that people have called out with proxy systems with APIs is that it introduces reliability issues, and it introduces scale issues and latency issues. So it seems like that the creation of an API CDN essentially is going to solve all those issues.
Yeah, I think there's two things that are important to keep in mind. One is that sort of an everyday proxy may add latency. What Apigee's done is built network infrastructure like a router from the bottom up. The inventor of our infrastructure was the author of BGP, right, Border Gateway Protocol. So everything's built on router principles to add near zero latency to start with. Obviously, you can't get away from architectural latency. If you move your gateway a long way away from where your content is, you'd expect to see a slowdown.
Sure.
But what we're starting to see is that we can take a couple of seconds out of the end-to-end delivery time. So if you have 50 milliseconds, 100 milliseconds overhead in your proxy layer, but you're taking away 2 seconds on your end-to-end, you're delivering like negative 1,800 milliseconds latency, which is a pretty good deal.
Sure. Okay. And so I guess the only remaining answer is that it's still sitting on infrastructure that is yours as opposed to the API provider. You know, I guess some people have some concerns around that. What's your answer to that when you're talking to customers?
It's really simple. I mean, I think we are looking at APIs, or many people are looking at APIs as if it's something totally new, and then everybody wants to build totally new solutions around it because they've never seen it before, and therefore it must be a problem that nobody else has, right? That's sort of the classic issue.
Sure.
But we learned from web infrastructure that you'd be an idiot not to have F5 or NetScaler or Blue Code sitting in front of your website.
Sure.
Right? Is that a gateway? Yeah. Is it an architectural layer? Yeah. Does it introduce another hop? Absolutely. Does it make your website perform anywhere between 5, 10, 50 times faster? Of course it does. Does it also protect it from security threats? Yes, it does. So there's a need for a layer to be able to sit in front of APIs and manage all that. But the other thing that we learned from that infrastructure is it's not just about the security, it's also about the caching. So the ability to serve from cache and not even hit your back-end servers. Sure. Again, that goes back to not just end-to-end latency, but it gets into end-to-end reliability. Right? Max latency is broken. Right? If your servers are so hard hit that they're not responding, you've got maximum latency. If you could be serving that from a gateway that is caching, right? A lot of people haven't really thought hard through how should I be caching my API. Obviously, you should have a key, you should have time to live, you should be thinking about that. But again, a lot of people feel like, oh, APIs are so new, I can't apply those old architectural lessons in the past. So in a nutshell, all we've done is we applied the architectural lessons of the last 10 years on the web, and we've accelerated that to be able to apply specifically to API traffic.
Sure. Okay.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah. And I guess just finally, we had a presentation this morning from John Mussett from Programming Where
one of my favorite guys.
Talking about the growth of the API economy, I guess. Just in terms of what you're seeing at Apigee, in terms of growth.
Oh, we've seen enormous growth. Obviously, we're not an analyst firm. We're a software company. So all we can say is what have we seen in our customers. And what we've seen is that there's more companies than ever that are bringing APIs online. The ones that were in the first and second waves, right, in 2008, 2009, 2010, their traffic's going up enormously. We've seen the traffic increase by a factor of 20x in the last year. Just our infrastructure, just of the customers that we're allowed to count and that we can get metrics on. We're doing 40 billion API calls a month. Which, if you're doing the math, that's 15,000 requests per second through the infrastructure. So it's fast enough, and the market is growing very quickly. I'll go out on a limb and make a prediction. If we're sitting down here again a year from now at GlueCon 2012, we'll be doing 1 trillion requests a month, no question. It'll probably be higher.
So there you have it. There's the API economy.
Yep.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Ben.
Take care.
Great.